Welcome back, guys. This is a new video, and the topic today is on Seattle. I've been in Seattle for about 2 years, and this is kind of like the overview that I have for you guys. So in this video, I have various topics to discuss. I have friends, food, living in the suburbs versus the city. I have the tech space, and also growth aspect, and then the long-term vision. Stay tuned. So the first topic I want to hit is friends. So initially, the whole reason I moved here was because of my friends. There are some people that I met at a beach, like randomly. And they just showed me the best time during my visit of Seattle. And they also work in the tech space, so I was just like, oh man, these people are really cool. Let me just move to Seattle. There might be more people like them. So I ended up making the move, and here I am. I'm still friends with them 2 years later. Still having a good time, still very good people. And like those core friends are the main reason that like you end up liking a city. So for them, or for me, it's them. So shout out to my homies, shout out to the friends, it's been a good time. And then the next topic I want to hit is the suburb versus living in the city. So I lived in both the city and the suburb. I'm currently living in the suburbs right now, and the main difference I see is number one, traffic. Like if you ever want to get into the city, there's a lot of traffic, but living in the suburbs is a lot more drivable. There's a lot more space. There's a lot more you know, less sidewalks. That's the one thing I noticed. There's a lot less sidewalks, but more space to drive. Also, it can, like if you aren't with a family, if you are like a solo single guy, for example, like me, it can be a little bit harder to adjust because it's just so far away from everybody, and like you are living kind of like secluded, if I can say, away from like what's going on in the city, like all the things that are going on. The suburbs are a lot more quieter. There's a lot, like there's more people, but it's like you'll see less people, if that makes any sense, because everybody's driving, right? And on the contrast, living in the city, it's like there's always something to do. It's always busy. You can walk everywhere, depending on which neighborhood you live in. Because in Seattle, every neighborhood has its own culture. Capitol Hill has its own culture. SLU has its own culture. Green Lake has its own culture. So depending on your type of personality, you can choose where to live in the city. If that makes any sense, you'll fit right in. Like if you're like a party goer, or like like to be around a lot of people, Capitol Hill is the perfect place for you. If you want to live closer to like work and stuff like that, SLU is the perfect place for you. And Green Lake is more like a quieter Seattle, if that makes sense. Like a lot of couples live up there. It's a nice area, has like a nice running track. I can call it a running track. It's a lake, but it's a lot of running, people running over there. But the next topic is food. The city, it has a lot of good Asian food, specifically, I would say Vietnamese. But like in terms of like everything else, it's not the best place to have good food. Barbecue is not so good. I've tried a few barbecue spots. There's not much halal options either, unless you go to like the the ethnic spots, like more like Somali, Afghani, or like any of these other like Muslim ethnicity spots. But it's very limited in my point of view, in my opinion. But there are some more shops coming up. There's a place called Smash. It's a really good smash burger spot on MLK, I believe. But the topic of food, yeah, food, it could do a lot better, in my opinion. It could definitely do a lot better. If I were to rate it out of 10, I would say the food scene here is like a cool 6, to be honest. There's some places that are good, so there's some places that are terrible. I wouldn't go again. But yeah, that's the topic for food. And then if we jump right into the tech space, honestly, this is something that I've taken more advantage of the more I started to love tech. Because initially I was just like, okay, like, yeah, I work in tech, but I don't want to do anything like outside of my work, right? But like the more passionate I got about like cybersecurity, the more I wanted to be involved with other people that work in cybersecurity outside of work. I wanted to see like different ideas. I wanted to see different people that are passionate about cybersecurity, their point of views, their opinions, their experience. Like it's, in a sense, it's like really, really refreshing to see other professionals that are really passionate about what you're passionate in as well. So it was really nice to see. Also, like there are a lot of people that are into the startup scenes, making their own startups. There's a lot of people that are passionate about like really helping people out using technology, if that makes any sense. But there's a lot of ways that you can make connections, build connections here. And it's not just about connections, it's really just about making an impact in my point of view. But there are a lot of people that really care about using tech to help other people. And there are a lot of people that love tech. Like there's a lot of like tech lovers. It's a tech city. And it's definitely something that initially I did not take advantage of or liking to. But now that I am in the right tech spaces, I tend to appreciate it a lot more, which is why I want to move back into the city. And then now let's talk about growth. In terms of like growing as an adult, I think Seattle has done a very good job for me. I've got to live in the suburbs, I've got to live in the city, and I got to see different point of views, different perspectives, different people that I've met, and got to learn a lot from their experiences. And then also just being around them, I've gotten a chance to know a lot more about myself. So this definitely helped me, you know, get out of my shell, get out of my bubble to explore other things. Like for example, taking up speaking. I didn't think about like, you know, making videos or even like being involved in TikTok, trying to help people out with their tech questions, or even like just being open to talk to new people. I wasn't, although I'm a social butterfly, I just didn't want to really get out of my shell to talk to other people that aren't in the tech field, if that makes any sense, right? So in terms of personal growth, Seattle has definitely helped me like get to another level, and I'm gonna continue to go towards my strong skills, try to build on that, and try to become a bit better, like, you know, all around. So that's how it is for growth. And last but not least, if we're talking about long-term vision, it's kind of like I wouldn't mind Seattle. I wouldn't mind living here for a super long time, like I don't know, 20 years plus, right? Or 5 years plus, let's say five. I wouldn't mind, to be honest. It's a really, really nice city. It's safe. It's an amazing city. There's always something going on. Although the only downside of Seattle, in my opinion, is first of all the food, but also the rain. It's actually really dark during the, like when it's not summer, it's really dark. It's gloomy. It rains a lot. But if you have the right people around you, you kind of forget about it. Like you kind of forget about Seattle being dark and cold, if that makes any sense. But long term, I do see myself here for a little bit longer, but I don't know necessarily if I would stay 20 years plus, if that makes any sense. But that all depends on, you know, what's going on in the world, if there's different opportunities elsewhere, if I meet different people. Like, you know, it's all of these different things that I have to take into account before making a big move like that. But as of right now, I love Seattle. I love Seattle. Coming from Buffalo to Phoenix to Seattle, I think Seattle is an amazing place. If I were to rate it out of 10, I would give it a cool 9, only because it rains a lot. But outside of that, it's an amazing city. If anybody's looking to like move to Seattle, I would say make that move. There's a lot of good people here. There's some good food here, but there's just so many opportunities that like you probably would have never had in your hometown, especially in tech. It's not San Francisco, but like it's really, really close. But yeah, that's all that I have for today. And I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let me know what you guys think in the comments. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, I don't know, anything, but let me know what you think of Seattle from the little video that I've made today. But thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later. Bye.